Rupa Goswami was staying in the hut, and Rupa Goswami wrote a verse which actually that verse was describing the mood of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing in front of Jagannath. And we know when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was dancing in front of Jagannath in Jagannath Rath Yatra, he was actually reciting a very obscure verse which nobody could understand except Saru Damodar. And that verse, so why nobody could understand? Because that verse was a very what do we say? So that verse was almost like a film song. Mahaprabhu is singing a film song. That verse was from a poem, from a kavya, and a mundane kavya. That verse is from that mundane poetic work, and that verse says in summary that I have met you on the banks of Ketaki, means Ketaki means so on the bank of Narmada river, but I am not very happy. But by now I am meeting you, I am feeling bliss, and so and so. So people were singing, what happened to Mahaprabhu? Mahaprabhu is singing songs of lovers and like Romeo and Juliet and like this. What's what's happening? Nobody could understand. But people thought, well, when Mahaprabhu is singing, there has to be something devotional. So people just left it there. But Saru Damodar could understand. So when Rupa Goswami, when Mahaprabhu came to visit Rupa Goswami with Sarup Damodar Goswami in his house in Jagannath Puri, where he was living in the hut near Haridas Thakur, Rupa Goswami happened to go to take bath in ocean, and Mahaprabhu took out a small leaf from the roof. He took out the leaf, he saw the verse. That verse was written by Rupa Goswami, and he was very angry. So then suddenly Rupa Goswami arrived after taking the bath, and Rupa Goswami did Dandvat. He stood up, and Mahaprabhu just slapped him. But he slapped him lovingly, and he said, Rupa, how did you understand the inner meanings of my mood? How did you understand what I was singing in front of Jagannath ji in Jagannath Rath Yatra? Nobody could understand. How you can understand? So Rupa Goswami wrote that verse. Rupa Goswami explained Mahaprabhu was not singing mundane songs about lover and beloved. That was not the point. Mahaprabhu was singing that about the meeting of Radha with Krishna in Kurukshetra. When Radha and Krishna meets in Kurukshetra, how they feel. But because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't want it to actually reveal his mood and his feelings, that's why he spoke in a very indirect way, in the form of mundane poetry. That's what he did. And Rupa Goswami wrote that verse. Mahaprabhu was so happy. Externally he was angry, but he was happy. So he said, Rupa, how did you understand my heart? And Sarup Damodar was standing nearby, and Sarup Damodar Goswami, he said, he didn't really glorify Rupa Goswami. He said, oh, Rupa Goswami is great, he has understood your mood. He simply told Mahaprabhu, he has understood this because you have revealed the meaning to him. You see the point? He didn't really glorify Rupa Goswami directly. He said, because you have revealed, he has understood. That's all. So at other time, when Rupa Goswami, in Jagannath Puri, when Rupa Goswami came to Jagannath Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came with Ramanand Rai, Sarup Damodar, Saurabh Bhattacharya in Haridas Thakur's place. And Mahaprabhu said, Rupa, are you writing some play? Rupa said, yes, I have written a play, Lalit Madhav and Vidagdh Madhav. He has written 2 plays. So Mahaprabhu said, okay, read something from them. Read some content, Lalit Madhav, Vidagdh Madhav. These 2 works of Rupa Goswami are very important for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. Besides his main book, Nectar of Devotion, Lalit Madhav, Vidagdh Madhav also helps us to understand what is the mood of Gaudiya Vaishnavas. So Mahaprabhu said, okay, read from these books, no problem. So Rupa Goswami read some verses, And Ramanand Rai was actually, examining him by asking some questions. What is introductory verse? Tell me. What is end verse? What is the main verse? Rupa Goswami was saying it, and they were praising. Sarvam Bhattacharya was praising, and then Sarup Damodar said, Mahaprabhu. So everybody was praising, and Sarup Damodar said to Mahaprabhu, it is because of your mercy that these facts are revealed to him. Again. So Sarup Damodar Goswami is not a person who will glorify people left and right, and then his temperament is not like that. Because we know in Mahaprabhu's Leela, Sarup Damodar Goswami in Krishna Leela, Sarup Damodar Goswami is Lalita Sakhi. We know that. Incarnation of Lalita Sakhi. From Gaur Ganodesh Deepika of Kapi Karnpun Das, his identity is revealed as Lalita Sakhi. And Lalita Sakhi is a very critical person in Golok. She is very critical. She analyzes everything. She doesn't praise readily. So on the contrary, she is ready to criticize people. Sarup Damodar was like that. For the service of Krishna. That's another thing. So why I am making this point? Because this same Sarup Damodar Goswami, he has praised Gadadhar Pandit. He has praised Gadadhar Pandit. And not only praised, he has written an Ashtakam on Gadadhar Pandit. Sarup Damodar Goswami has never written any glorification about any Vaishnava. We don't find any record. He might have written something, but we don't find any record. But here he has written a Gadadhar Ashtakam. You can find on net. What's that doing? And then Gadadhar Ashtakam, Sarup Damodar Goswami reveals the identity of Gadadhar Pandit. And he says Gadadhar Pandit is none other than Srimati Radharani. Gadadhar Pandit is none other than the goddess of fortune of Vrindavan. Lakshmi of Vrindavan, Radharani, Mahalakshmi, who has incarnated in the pastime of Gadadhar, Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu belongs to Gadadhar Pandit. Sarup Damodar writes. That is the importance of Gadadhar Pandit. And Gadadhar Pandit is so important that Bhakti Vinod Thakur, now this is a connection between Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Gadadhar Pandit. Bhakti Vinod Thakur has written glorifications about Gadadhar Pandit. Bhakti Vinod Thakur has written a song. The song's name is Bhaja Godruma Ganan Kunja Vibham. This is a song about Godruma Ganan. Bhakti Vinod Thakur used to do bhajan in his house, Swanand Sugdha Kunj. He named his house Swanand Sugdha Kunj, which he built in Godrum Dweep. Even today we can go. And there he installed the deities of Gaur Gadadhar. That's very interesting. Gaur Gadadhar deities. Bhakti Vinod Thakur didn't install Gaur Nityanand. He installed Gaur Gadadhar. He also installed in few of the temples Gaur Gadadhar. So Mayapur there is a place Champahati. So we know Champahati, no? Yeah. So there also we have Gaur Gadadhar deities, which was actually installed by Gaudiya Math Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Gaur Gadadhar. So and few other places Bhakti Vinod Thakur installed Gaur Gadadhar, and he wrote this song on Gadadhar Pandit. He wrote few other songs on Gaur Gadadhar, and he wrote in those songs that my life and soul is to worship Gaur Gadadhar. In fact, the Gaur Aarti we sing. Gaur Aarti is revealed by whom? Bhakti Vinod Thakur. I think Bhakti Vinod Thakur, yeah. What's the last line of Gaur Aarti? Yeah, Bhakti Vinod dekhe something? I think so. Is it? So in that Bhakti Vinod Thakur reveals who is Gadadhar. He says, so generally in ISKCON we don't sing that verse, but if you see the original song, one verse comes in that Gaur Aarti, Pandit Gaurangira Nija Shakti Pandit Gadadhar. That verse is omitted in our ISKCON Aartis for a good reason, because this is very, very secret and intimate relationship between Gaur Gadadhar. The relationship between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit is also misinterpreted by many Sahajya sects as I mean, to some Sahajya sect says that Gaurang Mahaprabhu, Gadadhar Pandit, they were homos. I know, it's crazy. I can't even tell this because both are males, but they loved each other, but they were in Madhure Bhav with each other. Or maybe some Sahajya sect says because Mahaprabhu is Krishna, he is Radha, so there was a relationship of Madhure Bhav between Gadadhar Pandit and Gaurang Mahaprabhu. But that's absolutely absurd. Gadadhar Pandit had a mood of dasya to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because Gadadhar Pandit, he is Radharani, but his mood is captured by Gaurang Mahaprabhu. The mood of Radharani is with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Gadadhar Pandit is Radharani without any mood. He is empty. He is simply a shadow of Gaurang Mahaprabhu, just following Gaurang Mahaprabhu. In fact, Gadadhar Pandit is the only person in entire Mahaprabhu Leela who stayed with him right from the first day to the last day, till the end of pastimes. Nityananda Prabhu, he didn't stay with Mahaprabhu. Nityananda Prabhu was in fact not there when Mahaprabhu was enacting Bala Leela. He came late. And also when Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath Puri, Nityananda Prabhu went back to Bengal to preach. Nari Sarkar Thakur, he was only in Navdeep Leela, although he was very intimate to Mahaprabhu's Leela. And who else? Ramanand Rai, Sarup Damodar, they only met Mahaprabhu when Mahaprabhu went to Jagannath Puri. They were not there in Navdeep Leela. Sarup Damodar was actually in Navdeep Leela, yeah. Sarup Damodar is second person who actually was with Mahaprabhu always. Because in Navdeep, Sarup Damodar's original name is Purushottam Acharya. He was there in Navdeep Leela, but in Navdeep he was not so intimately connected with Mahaprabhu, we know that, as Gadadhar Pandit was. Very intimately connected with Mahaprabhu. So yeah, so you can say two people are always there with Mahaprabhu, Sarup Damodar and Gadadhar Pandit. But Sarup Damodar, when Mahaprabhu took sannyas, Sarup Damodar went to Kashi to took sannyas. Sarup Damodar just left. Mahaprabhu left Sarup Damodar. He didn't inform Sarup Damodar, I am going. So Sarup Damodar became very angry. He went to Kashi. In his anger, he took Mayavad sannyas. He said, this is nonsense. I am going to take Mayavad sannyas. Just to actually torture himself. You see the point. He took sannyas, Sarup Damodar. So he was not there. Sarup Damodar was not there when Mahaprabhu was travelling from Navdeep to Jagannath Puri. But Gadadhar Pandit was there. So he is a person who is always with Mahaprabhu, except when Mahaprabhu went for preaching for South India tour. He didn't take Gadadhar Pandit because Gadadhar Pandit took Kshetra Sannyas. Gadadhar Pandit had taken Kshetra Sannyas in Jagannath Puri, so he couldn't leave Jagannath Puri. So Mahaprabhu said, well, I am going to South India preaching, but you can't come because you have taken Kshetra Sannyas. Kshetra Sannyas means you cannot leave that Kshetra. You cannot leave that place because you have taken a vow not to leave that place. So suppose you become sick and there is no hospital, you must die. You can't go to the hospital in neighboring state. That's Kshetra Sannyas. So Mahaprabhu said, well, I am going to South India tour, so you can't come. You have taken Kshetra Sannyas, your vow will be broken. So at that time, and in fact when Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan, that time also Gadadhar Pandit didn't go, but rest of the time he was there with him. So that's why Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Gaurangira Nija Shakti Pandit Gadadhar. In fact, I told that generally we don't name Gadadhar as Gadadhar Pandit. We name him as Pandit Gadadhar. We name him because there is another Gadadhar, Das Gadadhar. Das Gadadhar is eternal associate of Nityananda Prabhu. His home is near Calcutta. There is a village which is known as Aryada Gram. Prabhupada mentions Aryada Gram. If you go there today, you will find beautiful deities of Gaur Gadadhar. It's actually not Gaur Gadadhar, but Gaur Nityanand, because he is associate of Nityananda Prabhu, and also Janava Devi. Beautiful deities. Associates of Nityananda Prabhu used to keep Gaur Nitai. Associates of Mahaprabhu used to keep Gaur Gadadhar deities. That's how we know who is associate of Nityananda Prabhu and who is associate of Mahaprabhu, like that. So Das Gadadhar is living in Aryada Gram. Actually was living in Aryada Gram. Beautiful place. And Pandit Gadadhar, he was living in Navadvip with Mahaprabhu, and then he went to Jagannath Puri, like that. So like that. So Pandit Gadadhar, so Bhakti Vinod Thakur, he not only praised, he not only composed songs on Gaur Gadadhar, he also installed deities of Gaur Gadadhar. In fact, at his place Godrum Dweep, which is most important place of his bhajan, he installed that. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, following Bhakti Vinod Thakur's footsteps, he installed Gaur Gadadhar deities in all his Gaudiya Math. Bhaktisiddhanta didn't install Gaur Nitai, it's Gaur Gadadhar, because we are in the line of worshipping Gaur Gadadhar. So that's the connection between Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Gadadhar Pandit. Bhaktivinoda Thakur is a person who has revealed to us the worship of Gaur Gadadhar. Before Bhaktivinoda Thakur, there was no clear-cut conception of worship of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. There is one more song. There is something called as Gaura Smaran Mangal Stotra, where eightfold pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is given. Ashtkali Leela of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Ashtkali Leela. So just like we have Ashtkali Leela of Krishna. So Ashtkali Leela means what Krishna is doing in Golok 24 hours. So there is something called as Ashtkali Leela of Mahaprabhu. What Mahaprabhu is doing 24 hours in spiritual world, in Navadvip, in spiritual world. So this Gaurang Smaran Mangal Stotra was written by one devotee, Krishnadas Brahmachari of Vrindavan. This is not Krishnadas Kaviraj, Krishnadas Brahmachari of Vrindavan. He was quite famous at that time. His samadhi is in Radha Damodar Mandir with Jiva Goswami. Radha Damodar Mandir is samadhi of Jiva Goswami, and then there is samadhi of Krishnadas Brahmachari. So he was well known in Vrindavan. He wrote this. It's famous. It's there out there on net. You can find. And there he is describing the pastimes of Mahaprabhu with Gadadhar Pandit. So Gaudiya Vaishnavas like to remember Mahaprabhu with Gadadhar Pandit. That's our system, traditional Gaudiya Vaishnava system. Prabhupada didn't install Gaur Gadadhar, he installed Gaur Nitai, because Prabhupada says this is preaching movement, we need mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. But traditionally Gaudiya Vaishnavas, especially who are coming in Bhakti Vinod Dhara, we are coming in Bhakti Vinod Dhara, we worship Gaur Gadadhar. But that is some internal worship. External worship is Gaur Nitai, internal worship is Gaur Gadadhar. That's the connection between Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Gadadhar Pandit. Another connection between Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Gadadhar Pandit is Chaitanya Charitamrita. Oh, in fact, actually Chaitanya Charitamrita. Yeah. At the end of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has written a commentary on Chaitanya Charitamrita. I forgot the name of commentary. I think the commentary's name is Anuvritti, I think. Vivritti, what's that commentary? Chaitanya Charitamrita. There's a commentary by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. Srila Prabhupada has taken almost verbatim from Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's commentary, Chaitanya Charitamrita's commentary. It's same what Bhaktisiddhanta has written. So Bhaktisiddhanta writes at the end of Chaitanya Charitamrita commentary, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes that I can see Gadadhar Pandit in Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And what about that? He says Bhakti Vinod Thakur is none other than Gadadhar Pandit. In fact, Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, who was one of the stalwart devotees of Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, one of the stalwart devotees, Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj was such an important personality that Bhakti Siddhanta, when he was ending his pastime, he called Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj specially to sing Sri Rupa Manjari Pada for him. So when he was lying down, so some other brahmachari was singing Shri Rupa. Bhakti Siddhanta expressed his desire, please sing Sri Rupa Manjari Pada. So some brahmachari started singing. So Bhaktisiddhanta said, stop him. I don't want to hear music. I want to hear devotion. Call Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar. Swami, he came and he was very knowledgeable. In the entire Gaudiya Math, he was known for his philosophy. In fact, he was Shiksha Guru of Prabhupada. We know that Prabhupada himself said that he is my Shiksha Guru. Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Dev Goswami. So Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Swami said that Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say that Sarup Damodar again came in Gaurang Mahaprabhu's pastimes as Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. You can imagine. Sarup Damodar, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji is Sarup Damodar Goswami. And Gadadhar Pandit again came as Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So both are intimate to Mahaprabhu. Sarup Damodar is personal secretary of Mahaprabhu. Gadadhar Pandit is personal energy, Shakti of Mahaprabhu. Both of them came again to establish Gaudiya Vaishnav Siddhanta in this material world. So that's another connection between Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Gadadhar Pandit. How Bhaktivinoda Thakur is, Bhaktisiddhanta could see that. Nobody could see. Nobody could understand what is Bhaktivinoda, who is Bhaktivinoda Thakur. People thought Bhaktivinoda Thakur is Kedarnath Dutt, a magistrate with 11 children. And writing something on Gaudiya Vaishnavism, preaching, that's okay. Writing some songs. Every Bengali can write some songs, isn't it? People could understand. Bhaktisiddhanta saw that he is none other than Gadadhar Pandit. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to say, when I chant holy names and when I chant and raise my neck a little bit, I can see the lotus feet of Radharani at the feet of Bhakti Vinod Thakur. I can see Bhakti Vinod Thakur's lotus feet is non-different from lotus feet of Radharani. You can see. I just raise my neck a little bit and see on the other side, in the spiritual world. I can see Bhakti Vinod Thakur's lotus feet as Srimati Radharani's lotus feet. Non-different. And Chaitanya Charitamrita, he openly expressed, Bhakti Vinod Thakur is none other than Gadadhar Pandit. You can imagine. So that's the importance of Gadadhar Pandit and Bhaktivinoda Thakur, both of them disappearing today. There's a very intimate connection between both of them. If Bhaktivinoda Thakur would not have been there, the worship of Gaur Gadadhar would not have been revealed to us. Even if it would have been in a very, very Sahajya type devotion, not really proper understanding of how to approach Gaur Gadadhar, how to worship Gaur Gadadhar in proper mood. It would not have been there properly. Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written one book, Bhajan Rahasya. In that Bhajan Rahasya, that book is divided into two parts. One is external worship, one is internal worship. And the internal worship, he's writing how to worship Gaur Gadadhar, in what mood. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur has done a great work on worship of Gaur Gadadhar, and that's why Bhaktisiddhanta could take that mood and then promote it in Gaudiya Vaishnava Samaj. Although we don't talk about it much externally, because that should not be talked about externally. So it's almost like talking about Ras Leela of Radha Krishna publicly. We don't talk, isn't it? So this is a very secret thing. We keep it. It's revealed to sincere devotees who are pure, who are fortunate, how to worship Gaur Gadadhar. Until that time, we worship Gaur Nitai. That's how it goes, which Prabhupada told us. So that's another connection, Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Gadadhar Pandit. So one connection is Bhaktivinoda Thakur revealed to us Gaur Gadadhar's worship, wrote many songs, and also installed many deities. And another connection is how Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Hare Krishna. So how Bhaktivinoda Thakur is Gadadhar Pandit incarnation, which is mentioned by Bhaktisiddhanta and Chaitanya Charitamrita end, almost in the last part. So this is about connection between Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Gadadhar Pandit. Now, having said that, Yeah, having said that, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, you see, Bhaktivinoda Thakur installed one of his first deities were Gaur Gadadhar in Swanand Sukha Kunj. That's also not by chance. Although Navdeep Mayapur, Navdeep Mayapur, in Navdeep Mayapur there were many Gaudiya Vaishnavas of Nityanand Parivar, Advait Parivar, Gadadhar Kul also there were. There is something called Gadadhar Kul, who actually worship Gaur Gadadhar. Bhaktivinoda Thakur establishing deities of Gaur Gadadhar, that's very interesting because Bhaktivinoda Thakur's Diksha Guru is Vipin Bihari Goswami. And Vipin Bihari Goswami, at least externally he is a guru. Vipin Bihari Goswami, he belongs to the family of Nityanand Parivar, of Jahanava Devi. And Nityanand Parivar people, they worship Gaur Nitai, they don't worship Gaur Gadadhar. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur worshipping Gaur Gadadhar, that was very odd in the eyes of other devotees present in Gaur Mandal, because they were saying, see, he belongs to Nityanand Parivar, he should worship Gaur Nitai, but he is worshipping Gaur Gadadhar. So he is getting deviated from Nityanand Parivar to Gadadhar Parivar. So some people actually criticize Bhaktivinoda Thakur for this. But Bhaktisiddhanta understood that Bhaktivinoda Thakur didn't belong to Nityanand Parivar, or his guru is not Vipin Bihari Goswami. That Bhaktivinoda Thakur has given a favor by accepting Vipin Bihari Goswami as his guru. This Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur understood. And in fact, even if you think that Bhaktivinoda Thakur belonged to Nityanand Parivar, belonging to Nityanand Parivar means you are in Sakhya Bhav, isn't it? So belonging to Gadadhar Kul, that means you are in Madhurya Bhav. So some people said, well, he switched from Sakhya Bhav to Madhurya Bhav, but that's crazy. But even if that's true, it is possible because we know in Mahaprabhu's Leela, many devotees switched their rasas. Shyamanand Pandit, he switched his rasa from Sakhya Bhav to Madhurya Bhav. Shyamanand Pandit's guru was Hriday Chaitanya Das. Hriday Chaitanya Das' guru was Gauridas Pandit, who are in Sakhya Bhav. But then he became disciple of, but then he switched to Madhurya Bhav, Gopi Bhav. We all know that, Radharani's pastime. And that's possible. Many devotees, although they belong to Nityanand Parivar, but they took initiation from Gadadhar Parivar. Or many devotees who belong to Advait Parivar, they actually came to actually Gadadhar Kul. Just like classical example from Advait Parivar is actually Achyutanand. Achyutanand, he is son of Advait Acharya, but he took initiation from Gadadhar Pandit because he was in Gopi Bhav. He was not in Dasya Bhav. The servants of the Parshadas of Advait Acharya are in Dasya Bhav to Mahaprabhu. Parshadas of Nityanand Prabhu are in Sakhya Bhav to Mahaprabhu. The Parshadas, associates of Gadadhar Pandit, are in Madhurya Bhav with Mahaprabhu. But Vaidacharya's son, although he belonged to Advait Parivar, he took initiation from Gadadhar Kul. He worshipped Gaur Gadadhar. So it's not surprising, it's not like criticizing Bhaktivinoda Thakur. They couldn't, actually all these devotees, so-called devotees of Gaur Mandal, they couldn't understand who was Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they couldn't understand what Bhaktivinoda Thakur is doing here. They just thought he's writing some books and that's it. But actually, as I told, one of the greatest contribution of Bhaktivinoda Thakur was not just writing books, but was actually editing books of Goswamis and Krishnadas and Chaitanya Charitamrita. When Bhaktivinoda Thakur came, Chaitanya Charitamrita was not there. Now you might say Chaitanya Charitamrita was not there, what's happening? Chaitanya Charitamrita was there, but then there were many copies of Chaitanya Charitamrita. There were so many copies of Chaitanya Charitamrita that it was very difficult to identify a bona fide copy. In fact, I have seen many non-bona fide copies of Chaitanya Charitamrita. I saw one copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita where it was mentioned that in Jagannath, so I saw one copy of Chaitanya Charitamrita where it's mentioned that in Jagannath Puri, Chaitanya Kashi Mishra was actually, Kashi Mishra was actually serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu along with Nayan Anand Goswami. Isn't it Nayan Anand? Who was it? Gadadhar Pandit's nephew? Vaninath's son? Yeah. So Kashi Mishra was serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with along so along with Nayan Anand Goswami. Now, when I read that, I saw, my God, it's mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita. But then I checked our Chaitanya Charitamrita, which we have in ISKCON, which is edited by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It says that in Jagannath Puri, Mahaprabhu was being served by Kashi Mishra and Ramanand Rai, not Nayan Anand. Now this Nayan Anand Goswami, I think he was Nayan Anand, he was Gadadhar Pandit's younger brother, Vaninath. Gadadhar Pandit's younger brother is Vaninath. And Vaninath's son is Nayan Anand. Rubilas? Who is Vaninath's son? Anyway, Gadadhar Pandit के छोटे भाई का नाम क्या है? वानीनाथ. और उनके बच्चे का नाम क्या है? नैनानंद. Anyway, just forgot. So anyway, yeah. So Gadadhar Pandit's younger brother Vaninath, he had a son Nayan Anand, and he was not there in Jagannath Puri, we know. So that's wrong. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur edited it, and he found that actually that's not Nayan Anand, that's Ramanand Rai. So that's another connection with Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Gadadhar Pandit. That verse says that Mahaprabhu was being served by Gadadhar Pandit's nephew, Nayan Anand. That's absolutely wrong. Nayan Anand was staying in Bengal, we know. Nayan Anand visited Jagannath Puri, but he didn't stay there. He was staying in Bengal in a village called as Bharatpur. Gadadhar Pandit belonged to a village called as Bharatpur. It's still there. You can go to Bharatpur. So you can catch a bus from Navdeep to Krishnanagar. From Krishnanagar you can catch a bus to Jhamatpur, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's village, or you can go by train to Jhamatpur. From Jhamatpur you catch a bus to the village of Gyandas, and from there you catch a bus to Bharatpur, which is actually Murshidabad district in Bengal. You go there, you have a house of Gadadhar Pandit there. And there, if you ask those local Goswamis, they will show you Gita, on which Mahaprabhu wrote a verse in his own handwriting. That Gita belonged to Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit gave that Gita to his younger brother Vaninath. And he came to Bengal back, and then he passed on this Gita to his nephew Nayan Anand. It's still there, Mahaprabhu's handwriting. In writing, he wrote that verse in Gita. So that's another connection with Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Gadadhar Pandit. Bhaktivinoda Thakur knew everything about Gadadhar Pandit. He could really edit that. He could really edit Chaitanya Charitamrita properly. He gave us the bona fide Chaitanya Charitamrita. Without Bhaktivinoda Thakur, they were having no bona fide Chaitanya Charitamrita. The role what Gadadhar Pandit played. You see, Gadadhar Pandit in Mahaprabhu's Leela didn't play much role in preaching, isn't it? He was quite silent. He was staying in Jagannath Puri and he was there in Tota Gopinath. Mahaprabhu used to meet him and that's it. At least explicitly he didn't play any much role, Pandit Gadadhar. But as Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he preached. He again revived Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. As Bhaktivinoda Thakur brought this edited Chaitanya Charitamrita back, bona fide Chaitanya Charitamrita. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote many songs, I told. This contribution of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote many songs in Bengali. We know his three main books, actually four main books. He wrote many songs and he composed books on that songs because he liked to write systematic songs. So he wrote one book which is called a Sharanagati. Sharanagati he wrote book, and then he wrote book Gita Mala. He wrote book Gitavali, and he wrote books Kalyan Kalpacharu. These are 4 song books he wrote: Kalyan Kalpacharu, Gitavali, Gita Mala, Sharanagati. And so what are these books? these books are whatever our acharyas wrote in Sanskrit. Jiva Goswami wrote Sandarbhas, Vishnu Thakur wrote commentary on Bhagavatam, Brihad Bhagavatam written by Sanatan Goswami. Bhaktivinoda Thakur took all those books, read all those books in Sanskrit, made them into songs and published them so that common people can sing these songs. Common people don't understand Sanskrit, common people don't understand complex philosophy. So they can sing these songs and they can imbibe all the philosophy without any problem, just by singing. So so today if you go in God Mandal, everybody sings Bhaktivinoda Thakur songs. His songs became so famous. And in the process everybody can understand very complex philosophy written in Sanskrit by our acharyas, like this. That's so what Tulsidas did in Bihar. Tulsidas, he wrote Ramcharitmanas in Avdi language, simple language. So because of that, Ramayana became so famous in Bihar, UP, isn't it? Today, if Tulsidas would not have been there, Ram Bhakti would have been like out. Because Valmiki Ramayana, if you go in Bihar and UP today, nobody reads Valmiki Ramayana, nobody even knows Valmiki Ramayana, because Valmiki Ramayana is written in Sanskrit. Tulsidas, he made famous Ramayana in ordinary language. So I don't say that Tulsidas Ramcharitmanas is bona fide. That's another thing. That's another issue. But what I'm saying is that anything written in local language, it becomes really famous. Bhaktivinoda Thakur did this. Before Bhaktivinoda Thakur, no acharya wrote in Bengali. All the acharyas wrote in Sanskrit. Vishwanath Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan, Jiva Goswami, except Narottam Das Thakur, he wrote small book on Bengali, Prem Bhakti Chandrika, Prathna, 2 small books in Bengali songs. That's all he wrote. That's the stuff we had in Bengali. Bhaktivinoda Thakur brought in Bengal all the scriptures in Bengali he brought. He just wrote in Bengali profusely. Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote 200 books. Jaiv Dharma in Bengali, these songs book in Bengali, almost all his books are in Bengali, except few books in Sanskrit. The books he wrote in Sanskrit, like Dat Kaustubham, Bhaktivinoda Thakur wrote a book, Dat Kaustubham, which devotees might not be knowing. He wrote in Sanskrit, but he then wrote a Bengali commentary on that. That's quite interesting. He brought the works of Goswamis in Bengal. That's what he did, in its true spirit. And he fought, the third contribution of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, through his works, he fought with these Sahijyas and Apasampradaya people, who actually destroyed Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement by bringing stupid, useless nonsense and actually vulgar philosophy. All these Apasampradaya people, Sakhi Beki, Gaurang Nagari, Bhaktivinoda Thakur identified them, wrote about them, and through his songs he smashed their philosophy. That's another contribution, big contribution of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Before Bhaktivinoda Thakur, the situation was so messed up that in Jagannath Puri temple they were worshipping Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, and there was a dog installed on the altar of Jagannath temple. There was a dog along with Jagannath ji who was being worshipped, because they used to think this dog has special powers and he should be worshipped with Jagannath. Bhaktivinoda Thakur came, he said, "You nonsense rascal people." He was magistrate, so he said, "Just get this dog out." That's the point. That's the state what people thought, what is devotion. Mahaprabhu was simply, Chaitanya Prabhu was simply an emotional person who was singing some in ecstasy, something weird philosophy they had. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna, I am Radha. He is Radha, I am Krishna. A weird philosophy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was homosexual with Gadadhar Pandit, so we should also be homosexuals. It was really messed up, really vulgar. What Mahaprabhu gave his philosophy with absolute purity, and these people made Mahaprabhu's philosophy in absolute impurity. That's what they did. Bhaktivinoda Thakur came and he fought with them. He wrote his books, he published, and he established pure Gaudiya Vaishnava philosophy. That was his contribution. It's very difficult to change the whole direction of Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya. Am I right? when especially the Sampradaya has gone in a wrong direction. It's not a small job. Without Bhaktivinoda Thakur, there would have been no Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. That is foremost contribution, Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He gave us Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. By his prayers, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur came. And Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, what he did? He took the books of Bhaktivinoda Thakur and he spread it. He preached about them. And he distributed it widely. Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, he didn't write anything on his own. His lectures was translated by Sundaram Vidya Vinod in magazines, but his whole endeavor was to actually print and publish books written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur and then distribute it. Another contribution of Bhaktivinoda Thakur was to write in English and in a modern scientific language and a modern philosophical language, so that modern people could understand, modern youths and Britishers could understand. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur not only bridged a gap between Bengali and Sanskrit, not only brought the message from Sanskrit to Bengali, but he brought the message from Sanskrit to English. So he formed a bridge between Bengal and Sanskrit. And also he formed a bridge between modern word and traditional word by preaching in English. He did that. At that time, knowing English was a very big thing, isn't it? 200 years back, or approximately 150 years back. He was a magistrate, he knew English. It was a very big thing to speak in English at that time, at Bhaktivinoda Thakur's time. He could write in English, and if you read in English, it's very nice. And he was not only a writer, he was editor, he was a publisher, he was doing himself. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to actually assist Bhaktivinoda Thakur in writing, printing, publishing, editing. He learned everything from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So that is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's contribution and his link between Gadadhar Pandit and him. Rest of the information about Gadadhar Pandit you can read on net, and Bhaktivinoda Thakur you can read on net. But what I've focused on in this lecture is Bhaktivinoda Thakur's contribution and especially his relationship with Gadadhar Pandit. That's what I've focused on in this lecture. Hare Krishna. Gadadhar Pandit ki Jai. Bhaktivinoda Thakur ki Jai.